Update. This billboard is a hard skill check, and we cannot pass it at 3%. I tried to save scum it to get by it. Could not be done. We are required to pass it. It is a shivers check. Okay. You can see in our stats here. Go down the shivers. We have a 4 total in shivers. And on the left where it says physique, you can see there's a 2. 1, 2. And then you can see on shivers, there's a little 2 dots. We actually can't put more stats in the shivers to re-roll this skill check. This is a one-try thing until we can increase that cap. We are capped at 2 points in the shivers, which on the right there you can see learn from skills +2. So the only way to raise that cap is to actually find one of these thought cabinet things. So you can see on this one here, this gives a +1 to psi. That doesn't actually mean that our psychic skills are 1 stronger. It means it raises that psychic cap. Now, I could be misunderstanding this, but that is, to the best of my knowledge, the situation we are in. The only one of these thought cabinets that raises shivers we don't currently have access to. And this requires skill points. And you can see on the bottom right, we only have 1 skill point. So we not only don't have access to this, but we would need to level up twice. Once to unlock one of these thought cabinet slots. Actually, I think I have 1 unlocked just in case. But we need 2 levels up. 1 to unlock, and then 1 to learn it once we find the conversation. And then you actually don't know what these give you until you research them in past time. This is just a really tough situation to be in. You can see on the left here, over our health bars, we actually now have gone from just having 2 in the orange and 2 in the blue. So that's physical and kind of moral health, okay? Or morale, whatever. We've actually changed that entirely and buffed up to 4 in each. And we've spent all of our money on supplies simply because we're about to get into some combat and I don't want to die. The only way to actually bump up this skill check on the billboard here is to do a whole bunch of side questing. So I've done a little bit of that off camera, specifically the zoologist. Okay, he had a couple of traps, tasks, and then completed. Inspect the insect traps. He had like 3 or 4 insect traps lying around. He's like, hey, can you help me find my traps? And we found them. And then we told him, hey, we found them. He's like, okay, can you restock my traps? And then we went around and restocked them. I'm not super thrilled about this system, this design choice. We're going to go for it here.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
So you can see the bonuses +3 for the empty traps, and then another +3 for talking to the cryptozoologist's wife, Lena. And then 1 because we more or less figured out the crime. And it's still a 28% chance. So we're still locked at this. Now, one other small thing we could do. So we leave. We go into our clothing. Okay, do we have any clothes that bump up our shivers? If the answer is yes, then we're going to be able to get a little bit of a bump here, which is going to be worth it. And we have quite a few clothing items, but only, I think, 1 is going to... There it is, the t-shirt from Heimdall. There it is, +1 to shivers. Okay, I don't think there's anything else we can do. From the current clothing, we have... Oh, there it is, the scented scarf, +1 to shivers. Okay, and +1 to shivers here as well. So, now if we go back into the skill check, okay...
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
We have a 72% chance to pass this. You cannot finish the game or complete the story unless you pass this check twice. We could get that percentage higher by trying to find more clothing that bumps our shivers. Maybe there's a consumable that I haven't found yet that could also bump it, and or doing more side quests, which I'm not currently interested in. We're going to roll for the 72%. Here we go.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least.
True.
And then there's the church. If I were a murder suspect, I would not hide in the most prominent building here, but who knows? Maybe she's reckless.
Or spiritual. She could be looking for refuge.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first.
Oh
like
my
we did
goodness.
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. An adventure awaits. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold.
So we're going to leave. Again, interesting design choice here. We passed the first Shivers check, and then it still tells us to go search more. Go and look elsewhere. She's probably not here. And if you really can't find anything, come back. Spoilers, this is where we need to be. This is where she's hiding. We've searched everywhere, okay?
Felled electrical.
So we need to pass the check. Again, it is another impossible check. Here we go.
Away. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
Wow. So, I don't love this design choice. I don't think it's necessarily a bad choice. For me as a player, I don't love it. Like, once we all of our clues lead us here, we pass the first check, and then it gives us dialogue to mislead us. Hey, no, go look everywhere, grid by grid. No, we kind of walked the whole beach a couple of times for the traps, like Kim said. However, you can see here with the Shivers check, hey, to the basement. Let's go.
She's down there.
Our Shivers, our connection to our gut instinct says she's here. She's in Feld Electric. We're after Ruby.
Okay. Why?
Kim, listen, man. I've been through the door of stone, and I've listened to the wind, and it told me so.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Well, we can go through a pipe or the roof, right?
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you...
So we can see there's a pipe down there and a ladder. We're going to go pipe. After we switch back on our clothes that don't debuff us. I worked really hard to put together an outfit that would prevent us from having any debuffs. Not really necessary. Okay, debuffs aren't a bad thing. Failing a roll is generally not the end of the world. Okay, but oh, we have -1 to encyclopedia. Hello? Oh, there it is. The glasses. -1 to drama, -1 to authority, -1 to perception. -1 to visual calculus. What is our highest skill? Let's see. Highest skill is logic or perception. Those are the ones we can most afford to lose a point in. Do we have one for perception? We do, actually. Okay. Oh, we can put these dumb ones on. Now, there's something else we're wearing that debuffs us. Uh-oh. Which one is it? Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. To the point. To the point. Again, I think Disco Elysium is... It's hard to love, but it's easy to fall in love with. And it's things like this that make it hard to love.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. A building like this must have multiple doors.
We come closer, take a look.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. A thin layer of snow gleams inside the pipe. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. And nothing.
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
Perfect.
And it's right here.
Oh yeah. Big boy time. This needs you to put your back into it. A thin layer as your eyes and nothing.
Okay. And this is a 3% chance to get
behind the pipe.
As we are not
door,
physically
rusted
heroic.
Shut and half sunken.
Oh, no. I wonder if we could, if it's any better if we hold our crowbar. We'll check.
Behind the pipe.
Nope. All right, I'm going to put our flashlight back on, and we will actually go back and check on the ladder. So we come around this way. We never even talked to these guys here. Oh, mercy. Help. These guys. I'm going to punch through it. I don't really care about them, but it's worth getting it.
The windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez?
Nice to meet you.
Yes. Hi, but oh yes. So, Mikhail? No, I can't. Mikhail's a little...
The man speaks in the art of...
But I assume you...
Well, get a...
How to climb that ladder, you... No, I'm just... If I'm not mistaken, in this case, I suggest looking... Yes, I have.
Mark my words. All of this,
There's a sewage pipe there. No. So... No,
He's telling the truth.
Aha! What not a lot of people know.
It looks old and...
That's not so... They started out as a Midway electronics out... Still. Tricentennial was beat... It was here... Which is a... Indeed, the revel... Unfortunately, all of this was built by Feld. Even a boardwalk. Yes.
A pleasure.
Yes. To lure in this... Oh, I'm afraid it...
Wait.
Officer.
The boy looks first at you, then back.
Oh,
Wait.
Officer.
The boy looks first.
They used... What's the marsh?
A short...
It's a beautiful... I tried to get...
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver.
Actually...
Buckle.
10 years ago.
Wait. He did it. He said, Wumpty Dumpty Dump. What the hell is...
The Wumpty Dumpty... In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty... But perhaps I should return...
Made of black film.
Very, very cool. Yes, who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they... But of course. What else?
Okay, great, thanks.
No, thanks to you.
Pick you.
Okay, so he just wanted to tell us about the history of this building before the war, after the war. It fell in hard times, give us access to a new thought, blah yada yada
A
yada.
rusty ladder leads to the...
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distance. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. Not to mention, what if you were to do something... What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Teleportation is not a... This really... Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Okay, we can use our big brain and try and teleport. But before we do that, we will save. Okay?
The
And
rusty
then
ladder leads to
It's
the
a
rooftop.
savoir-faire. Okay, check. Do we have any way to bump that up? We do have 2 skill points. We will put a point here. And we're going to recheck on this skill
The
now.
rusty ladder leads to the
72, we'll
rooftop.
take that. We'll take that.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate.
Here we go.
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
We did it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
That's right, Kim. I just teleported.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
Kim, we teleported.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phase spider.
That's right. We got him with the old, what was it? Zoot, zap, pal, crinkle, zoop.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside.
Okay, we'll try not to die. Good news is, we're up the ladder. Bad news is we now need to get down to the basement without dying. As this place has been bombed. Like most of the other buildings from a war long ago. Okay, there's a note. Maybe this is a door. Glass. Why couldn't we just break a window and go in, huh? Looks like we are in some kind of a basement thing here. Probably should save before we get too far and get ourselves killed. Oh, man. You know, we were sent here with what felt like an impossible task. At first.
This isn't just glass. Yes, the why. The why.
Ooh, new clothes. New clothes. Anything good? +1 to suggestion. Nah. You know, we were in a position of not good. We were... I mean, we were really feeling it from the night before. It hurt. You know? We lost our badge. We lost our gun. We lost our... Who's the painting?
A mustachioed. Years. Someone crouches.
We lost our... We called our police station for like a little bit of backup. No help. I don't know, it just really felt kind of impossible. Everyone we talked to kind of mocked us or misled us in some way. I don't know, do we want to internalize something? I kind of forgot the whole, like, how tricky some of this is. We'll just go over to some kind of superstar. I don't know, we'll get debuffed for a little, I don't care. We just need to get through this, man. I'll tell you what, I'm stuck in this room. I can't quite figure out the... Oh, there it is, there it is. I think I'm in the wall. Nice. It felt impossible. We called our station for help, and they just made fun of us, wouldn't tell us anything. We couldn't remember our name. We couldn't remember... anything. I mean, it just... It really felt impenetrable. And the more we talked to people, the more confused we got. The more frustrating it became. You know, people more or less just kept telling us, don't worry about it, you fool. You absolute buffoon. They just made fun of us repeatedly as we were just desperately trying to do our job, right? And even when we started to really crack the case, we were still just being deceived. +1 to composure, +1 to shivers. That's actually probably a pretty good one. What we're wearing right now is +1 to shivers and, you know, just being the spirit of the police, right? I don't know, like... I guess we're not...
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. The static overcomes you.
Ruby is attacking us.
The darkness takes over. Cop dies under the boardwalk. An officer of the RCM, hot on the track of a suspect, died yesterday, of causes yet to be determined. I told him not to go after the suspect without me, said Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, the deceased partner on the case. But it seems that he wanted to play the hero. It's just like him to run straight into the lion's den, fly unzipped and arms flailing, said Satellite Officer Jean Vicmer, friend and colleague of the officer. If ever I saw a man with a death wish.
Wow. Gene's gonna do us dirty like that into... We're dead, right? We're dead, and he's still just making fun of us. It's just like him to run in there, to play the hero, right into the lion's den, arms flailing, fly unzipped. That means our pants are flying open. Like, oh my goodness, come on, Gene. And even Kim's like, I told him not to. Fair, fair. We're dead. Game over. We try again. So we need to go backwards, I think. We must have missed something to get Kim in here. I don't know exactly what. I think the only thing we could interact with was that painting. I don't feel like we missed anything else major. We're going to maybe try and go up a floor. Okay. Well, here's the pipe. Oh, wait, there's Kim. No way. Kim, open up, man.
2 rusty metal plates.
What do you mean?
Push the door open. How did we miss this?
The doors.
Huh. Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Yeah, but how did we miss this? Kim was here the whole time. We couldn't just, like, crowbar this thing? Are you kidding me? Where does this go? The whole time. It's just right there. We can just walk right in. Really? Really? Okay, sure. Yeah, why not? Of course, obviously. Yeah. Kim. Okay. All right. No problem. We know what to do. We try not to die. Hopefully.
There it is again. Like a
No. What do you mean? I don't feel it, but no.
It's not a quib.
Looks like a once we did.
You will keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. We did find the buoy when we were checking the traps for the cryptozoologist to find Khaleesi's documents, or however you say her name. It was empty. We lit straight up. There was nothing in it. And then Kim and I were like, did she lie? Did someone steal it before us? Did we find the wrong buoy? We found the right buoy. But this is kind of warning us as a little bit of a point of no return here.
I think I see a cavern.
I wouldn't be
Or
that there's some side quests that we could definitely engage with. However, it's time to catch a killer.
Your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now.
And physical damage.
Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance.
Look, she has headphones on.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike.
We cover our ears.
No, buddy. That's not going to help.
Physical damage.
Can't shield yourself from this. It's an Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
She turns the dial in her hand.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge
physical
of violent
damage.
static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded.
You're gonna kill me too, huh?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations for your frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Apparently.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
Have you ever experienced this machine yourself, or just sending it at us?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Tell me about this pail.
The Pale? It's the end of the world.
Oh, okay. Am I stuck like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end.
How did you get this thing?
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented.
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Okay. Out of curiosity, ignoring the torture you're putting us through, we're here to talk about the man you killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
Yeah, you mind just turning this down a little bit? We're seriously suffering.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Doesn't seem like it to me.
Then this...
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She reluctantly steps out of the shadow and turns down the pain.
She's carrying a 2-barreled front loader. Well, it doesn't feel much better. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe.
How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Because you hid bullets in the floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but why hide the bullet?
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
I don't know that's true.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
I heard you in the passage, so you found my shack,
Just so you know,
huh?
Isabel the washerwoman did not rat you out.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
You were preparing for a shootout with the bullet?
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
We don't even have a gun. Did you shoot the mercenary Laylee?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you.
Do we think Ruby actually didn't do it?
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
I mean, he did break.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this.
We say nothing. It's not her business what happened.
But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus.
My boys?
You know, the Ruby boys.
What? I don't even understand what you're trying to get at here. Oh, doesn't even matter. How can they be my boys when they're not even my friends? And those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
You mean the rest? You know, we're the human can opener.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same. Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
Why should we believe you?
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
You're running drugs still.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
Ruby immediately blames whoever she thinks might know her secret. We did the work. We ran down the clues, chased the evidence, found the facts. Tommy didn't do anything.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
I mean, you are a criminal. Why should I trust anything you've said?
That's your prerogative.
And you had a financial incentive to kill the mercenary to get things rolling, business moving again.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
Yeah, Kim is really suffering here. We've had some experience messing up our head, but Kim is unable to articulate his question. He is in serious discomfort, pain, and agony, to say the least.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
Why are you threatening us?
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
What's your alibi for when Laylee was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
Yeah, they said you went missing for a half hour.
Like fuck I did. I was in all the time. I went for a leak, 10-15 minutes max.
As it turns out, the murder would have taken significantly less time than 15 minutes.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
You don't play any pinball, do you?
No. Not since I was 14 and why?
You know, the secret room in the pinball room with the pinball machines with footprints that match your size shoe, and the key hanging in the Hardy Boy hangout room that you had direct access to?
Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries.
And the elevator directly into the back room?
The fuck do elevators have to do with anything?
I gotta tell you something. You remember the one thing from the crime scene that didn't add up? It was the fact that the shoes that Ruby wears, one of them is grinded down from the sandpaper in her machine, right? And that was not the case with the footprints that we found there. Maybe, even though all the facts currently point to Ruby, maybe she's not the killer.
Not particularly. I'm not really into old...
God damn it!
Look, there's a secret way from the ground floor of the whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
Ruby starts to frown, studying our face.
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
I think she's starting to realize that we've really done a lot of research, and the clues have led us to her. And she's starting to get concerned that we aren't quite good enough to solve it, but also that... Okay, hold on, let's go.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
Interesting theory.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
But we don't know how loud it was. We don't know how drunk people were. We don't know how many floors between that roof and the ground floor. You know, like, what if at the same time the shot went off, a speaker blew? Or, you know, someone gave a good rebel yell through the speaker. You don't know, right? We weren't there.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
Did you leave flowers for Khaleesi on the roof?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
Really? Not even some wildflowers?
Nope.
Khaleesi was mourning. You know anything about that?
I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not.
To be clear, you have a gun that is the same make and model as the murder gun. To the best of our knowledge, the calibers match.
And?
What kind of gun is it?
A Noctway 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
Okay, that is a different gun from the murder gun. Any other guns you have?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Where did you get the gun?
The gun store.
Classic.
Trigger Happy Jacks.
Really?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
More questions.
Yeah, evidence.
Was Laylee likable?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Do you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pine sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
So you have no sympathy for the mercenaries who had an equally hard, if not harder, job than you?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count.
You have nothing personal against this man.
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason to off someone.
Darn it, Ruby. Why did you run?
I'm listening.
Khaleesi said you liked her to an obsessive degree.
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
But you wanted to be more than friends.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
She said you wanted that. Is that not true? What is your side of things?
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us. And we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Claudia was into me too for a time, I know it.
Claudia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Then what happened?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on.
Okay.
I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
You still helped her stage the lynching.
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
To be clear, you do like girls, not just Khaleesi. This wasn't some weird one-off thing.
What the hell, man? Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Her hand slipped from the dial of the compressor for a moment, almost turning it down. Then she put her hand
And you don't
back.
spend your time just
Not yet.
peeping, right? You're not just
Not
looking
yet.
through walls at people?
Wow. Pissing, pinball, and now peeping. I'm just not following your insinuations, detective.
There's a hole in Khaleesi's wall from the pinball room. It's literally the room with the... Ruby, come on. You had the key, you had access, you have knowledge about the door, you could have gone right through. You were jealous of the situation.
If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo. Who has time to go skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls?
So, to be clear, you have not been watching through the hole in Khaleesi's wall?
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. Or had, before you sent her off in your Mora Lintern meat grinder. It's impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
Okay, just to be clear, Khaleesi said you were incredibly angry and you threatened her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
Okay.
By the way, DeLorean tragedies are still held in high regard for innovation in language and motifs.
You know
They are
what?
all-
Go ahead. It's your body.
So you don't like to hang out on rooftops? Just throwing it out there.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
Really? Great antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Darn, man. That's the only reason you're on the roof, the antenna?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
Okay, so you're sure you didn't shoot the mercenary from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
She's wrong. It did not have to have come from afar, but let's take a step back here. I think we need to reassess the facts we know.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Why are you hiding if you didn't kill him?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
Interesting. So, the Madre is one of the largest, well-organized gangs from outside of this neighborhood. And this is the first time anyone has accused us of being an agent for them.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
Tell me more.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Listening.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise.
Kim is in pain. We are too, but we can at least, like, function. We're going to, we're taking some serious hits to our health here. That was actually, I think, 4 whole ticks now.
It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's this everyone that says that about me? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
Because you were the killer. That's why I thought. That's what everyone thinks.
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Alright, you think you're so well informed. What's my name?
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
Now remember, that's not our name, but that is the name that Everett thought was our name.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
So this Madre guy's dangerous, huh?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
Yeah, I have some amnesia problems recently, okay? Help me out here a little.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
Come on, bro.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
Why does this Madre guy hate you, Ruby?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
You're telling me I came into town all by myself?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Wait, what? Who was in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
Are you kidding me? What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally.
Yeah, no idea.
Well, this has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
Just tell me your version of what happened. If it wasn't you who killed the merc, what happened that night?
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
Man, nothing is what it seems to be, huh?
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasya comes in, all pale and shuddering.
To be clear, that is the series of events we've got confirmed exactly from everyone involved we've been able to interview successfully. That sentence right there, so far, we completely agree.
She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Was she high?
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her.
Okay.
But she asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
Okay.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Police, you thought it was weird you already had a plan to hide the body.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
There we go. See, again, this darn Khaleesi woman. Who do you think's telling the truth? Comment right now. Tell me. Was Khaleesi telling the truth, or however you want to say it, Khaleesi, whatever, when she said it was Ruby's plan, or Ruby's... I believe Ruby.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
What's Ruby's motivation to be dishonest right now? Like, whoever's plan it was doesn't really change what happened. Unless you're trying to get us to chase Ruby. Like, Khaleesi had a good reason to, but Ruby doesn't. Even if it was Ruby's plan, it's not a big deal right now.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Huh.
She lied to you about that, too.
Showerhead, huh?
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she killed the mercenary guy?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
Okay.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Brutal.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
Who do you think killed the mercenary then, if it wasn't you and it wasn't the other lady?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
There's somebody we haven't met. There's somebody we haven't met that's an outsider in some way that's the killer. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, even if everyone's, like, somehow lying to us, there's someone else involved that we have not met, and I think there's some kind of an outsider. Because the Union is pretty upfront with who's Union, right? They're all wearing the orange. And it's not I guess it could be the mercenaries. Like, they killed one of their own. They have the skills and the tools to do it, hypothetically. But there's someone we haven't met. Like, something doesn't add up here. Like, all my senses are just... All my spidey senses or whatever, my detective... my gut is telling me there's an outsider. There's someone we haven't met. Like, something's not right here. It wasn't Ruby. Ruby's not the killer. Her incentive for killing this mercenary is literally zero at this point. Jealous lover was the only incentive we really had, and she fit all the other stuff, but darn, like, she's not the killer.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? I can still see him there, in Claus's room. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
You know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
There's a bunker right next to you.
Don't know anything about it.
Pain! Pain! Real pain!
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
We can destroy the pain threshold, but I don't want to take Ruby in. I just want to be out of this pain. Success. Like, we can do the work to we can send our paperwork over to the drug agents that Ruby's involved. That's going to be her problem for them, not us.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again.
Mercy.
It still hurts like hell.
Kim, you okay?
All good, officer. Be careful.
Sure.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
That's not the reaction of a killer. If Ruby was a killer, she'd see us making our move. We're in an abandoned building. No one knows where we are. We don't have any backup. She might not know that other than listening on the radio waves. But if she really wanted to kill us, she had a lot of chances.
Oh, fuck it.
What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Don't do that.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
We have a 58% chance to save Ruby. I really want to save Ruby. We're not going to arrest her, but she's put us in this impossible position. Put the gun down, Ruby.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options. You know.
Please, we put up our hands, we walk away.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity.
This
Shifts.
This is a woman that feels like she's at the end of her rope. She's tied a knot, but she can't hold on any longer.
Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
You don't have to do this. I'm not arresting you. I'm here to investigate a murder, and I don't have enough evidence to prove that you're the murderer. And I'm not here to arrest someone who hasn't committed a serious crime or impeded my investigation in a criminal way. You're free to go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
Ruby's eyes are fixed on us as she turns her gaze to the tunnel behind us. She lowers her weapon.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
This was just.
Good call.
Did my best, Kim. Thanks.
I would have done the same, had I not been incapacitated.
I don't think she's the killer.
Her tent. We should check it out.
Sure.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
What?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
We're the cool cop. Some kind of superstar cop.
That is only a ludicrous daydream. Guess again.
We're the cool cop.
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
No.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes.
Nah.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then.
We're not the sorry cop. Relax. Woo! That was tense. That was really tense. And I'm sweating, man. I don't want to make a mistake here worse than the mistakes we've already made. And we've made some pretty rough mistakes. All that being said, we're going to check out the tent.
The plain red tent stands by. It was pitched by practiced hands. The tent looks old, but well maintained. It reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies.
See anything?
No.
Rager Monthly. You pocket the wall.
We should read this immediately.
We found the journal. We're going to read the journal and see if there's anything unusually relevant to our investigation.
A thick journal. It's made of Schnell. She's got good taste. The journal falls open. The large, perhaps too confidently. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections. All dated.
I'm pretty happy with this find, actually.
It's good she left in a hurry.
Hard to tell.
There could be useful information.
Esoteric radio technology. The first entry, short, wry observations of people and places. That name isn't mentioned. Small wonder. Great. Then again, isn't the call being held up? Did M feel the entry ends abruptly?
What did she write the day of the murder?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though. Well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely.
Okay, so she didn't journal the day of the murder, just the next day, and it was full of regret.
You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. The thick journal bound the large, perhaps too confidently.
What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
Brutal.
It looks like she might have been framed.
Kim, do you think I'm really an agent for this Madre guy?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
Yeah, I love calling those guys.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
She didn't do it. What do you think, Kim?
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her.
Nah, I mean, Kim, we've got enough paperwork, my man.
Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the man.
Who do you think killed the mercenaries, Kim? Think about the facts. What's coming your way, man?
Classy was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
Of all the lies Clausia said, I still don't think she was the killer. I'm strongly feeling, just deep in my gut, in my bowels, just above the hips, okay? I'm feeling it. There's someone we haven't met. I don't know if it's the mercenaries who killed themselves, but there's something else going on here that is such a small piece of the puzzle. It's being overshadowed by the big piece. Like, big pieces are the Union. Big pieces are Wild Pines. Big pieces are the Union Strike, the Hardy Boys. Who's this Ruby girl? Who's the Classe girl? What's going on with this drug operation? Those are like the big puzzle pieces. And there's some small pieces, right? Some little teeny tiny pieces. The smoker and the bureaucrat, right? There's some small pieces, some little teeny tiny little pieces. There's this building they want to build in this fishing village that I don't know how the small pieces fit into the murder investigation, but there's something that's a small piece that's just big enough that maybe it's come across our eyes. Maybe we've walked by it even. Walked by them, the who, the murderer, the killer, the whoever pulled the trigger. However, it's just so very, very small that it's never been worth following up. We haven't realized the clue is the clue that it is. We have the facts, but not the figure who they represent. We have the information in the evidence, but we don't have the smoking gun. No one heard the shot. If that is true, which is the first time we've heard that, right? Hypothetically, the shot came from off the rooftop. It was a 72% chance based on our visual calculus. It was on the rooftop. Let's bring this up to Kim, see what he thinks.
Maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, one thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask.
Like, maybe if we start asking about the shot, hey, no one heard the shot, all of a sudden people start hearing the shot.
Some kind of superstar.
Yeah, it's us. Woo. I don't know, man. I mean, I really do not know.
They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
We get a -1 to logic. It's the price of self-delusion, okay? But the learning cap increased to 6 for everything. That's huge. You know what that means? There it is. We can bump all these points up in a way we couldn't before. Love that. Ooh, we've got 2 free points to go. I don't know, like... I think we go with, rhetoric. No, let's bump, we're gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on to the point. We're gonna hold on to the point. I'm pretty happy with that one. Let's get back to the whirly rag. If we can.
The plane, it was...
Alright, that's everything in here. Here's my thing. If the shot was not taken from the roof, that means we're dealing with a sniper. Because you would need to take a seriously difficult shot. Now remember Titus said, hey look, there aren't really any good angles to shoot this from. Everywhere you might shoot from is actually like an elevation below. It'd be very, very difficult to get that angle. So I don't quite know how to solve that. But my money, okay? For my money, if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would say that whoever killed the mercenary was the same person who was looking through the peephole. Because everyone we've interviewed, even the cafeteria owner, did not know about the... Maybe we'll sleep it off here. Did not know about the peephole, right? They did not have enough information there. I think we sleep for the night. I think we can come back to this on day 5.
I'm afraid we don't have time for rest stops right now.
What?
Officer.
Kim, I'm tired. Come on, man. All right, so fast travel is really tricky. You have to be standing just right. Even like if I'm facing this way, I've not been able to fast travel, but facing this way I have. Oh, we can't fast travel right now. There must be something scripted about to happen. Okay. What got me all kinds of nervous? Oop. Yep, nothing relevant there. See, this is one of the traps right here we had to find. Right here. It's, nothing fancy about it.
The trap.
Yep, empty trap. There you go. And we're going back across the water lock. If we can. All right, the elevation's just bullying me here. We need to walk around this little rock here. And then we can get up this side now. There we go. You know who we haven't run down yet? The mercenaries. I mean, they would be a sniper, right? They would have the skills. They would have the history or like a reason to like do a bad thing, right? I don't know. Like maybe the sniper...
Stop. Now. It is time.
For what?
Crisis. Death. You can feel it in your blue soul.
What?
Arm yourself with anything you can. Unless you have nothing. Because you didn't find your lost gun.
True.
Then just walk to your death.
Oh, thanks, Inland Empire.
I can talk you out of it.
Thanks,
Whatever
Rhetoric.
it is. You're too likable to die. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks, Suggestion.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
Thanks, Kim. We should save. Rhetoric said he's got us. Let's put a point in Rhetoric. And determine where the shot came from. Check island, check Land's End. All right, here we go. What's going on around here? Oh, look, the shop guy's gone on the right there.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
These are the mercenaries? Did they come with me?
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
Let's be clear here. The Union is not necessarily good, bad, or evil. They just are, okay? Titus and his boys have been essentially the law enforcement in this area, and the only thing separating Titus from being lawful and unlawful is that the local government does not recognize the authority of the Hardy Boys as the enforcement. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I don't want to get into the too much philosophy there, but to be clear, if the union's name was just local government and Everett's name was mayor, then these guys would be law enforcement. The only thing difference is their title and their willingness to sell drugs. But that's a different morality I don't want to get into. Bottom line here, when we first met Titus, we didn't like him. But where we are right now, we see Titus as a brother from another mother. We don't want to be friends. We don't even want to be cousins. But we think that his decision-making is centered around doing good for this community. Whether we agree with what is good for the community or we disagree, doesn't matter. Titus here is not our enemy.
Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
I do want to point out here that the mercenaries on the left, you can see 1, 2, 3 of them. One of them there on the far left, kind of in the top corner there in the gray and white, leaning against the building, has a very interesting sniper rifle.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate.
Kim, what's going on here?
Shh.
Why is he shushing me?
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Elizabeth is an absolute fool. They absolutely will gun these people down.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
Peaceful.
It sounds like this armored figure with the sniper rifle is crying for his mama.
Nest in your abdominal cavity.
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like this?
Kim, because they were hiding?
This third one, he is the most dangerous of them all. Heavily armed.
Yeah, the big one's the mercenary leader. The scab leader, the strike breaker.
If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
What do you think we should do?
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
My plan is not to get killed. Okay. All right. Stop. This is the police. Technically,
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
As the mercenary says that, he licks his lips, waving his gun around. He staggers backward as he loses his balance for a moment. I think Liz was right. Maybe they are a little less sober than they should be for this kind of an interaction. I want to be very clear here. We had a choice to walk away. We did not have to interject ourselves. However, technically, we are the only group here with any legal standing. If the overarching government shows up, our actions are the only ones that are going to be just, as everyone else is technically a civilian.
Pig fuck!
Sounds like you're drunk.
Ah, yeah. Welcome to the fucking party.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
Elizabeth needs to shut up.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle.
Not impressed.
The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. You really, really should have a gun in your hand by now. Or something dangerous. This feels scary.
Oh, shut up, hand-eye coordination.
No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk. Present an argument.
We're leaning on our rhetoric here.
I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it. If you talk to him, he will rattle you, not the other way around.
Okay. Who's your third guy?
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer. Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
Now, with our detective brain, all we're looking for is the killer of the murderer, and she just confessed he's the killer. But in reality, I think she's just naming him, and we're taking it out of context. I understand you think you're doing the right thing, but this is a meaningless confrontation.
Huh?
He just stares at us.
What are we waiting for? Let's blow that pig.
Lance Corporal, just fucking shut up and wait for your order.
Does it occur to you guys you're a little too drunk for this?
Yes. So what?
Your judgment is far too impaired to be making a good decision.
Nah. I'm clear as day.
Enough already! What is this?
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
This outburst is accompanied by saliva flying out the mouth. These dudes are unhinged. I want to point out the Wild Pines rep did not approve of this.
You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
Has it occurred to you that Wild Pines is not going to forgive you massacring innocent people?
The man stares at you with bloodshot eyes, a bull ready to charge. He's not listening, but looking for an opening.
Ah.
Now is not a good time to strike. He's looking right at your hands. Do something else. Get him distracted.
Fucking waste this fuck!
Okay, we have a 92% chance to think of an argument. Remember, we are the thinker. This is us. This is how we started. And at the beginning, we were drunk, we were hungover, we were addicted. Our face was stuck in some kind of clown masked smile. But we've wiped away our filth. We have clean clothes on. We've shaved away the grimy beard. We've stopped smiling like some kind of creepy clown. And we think we have a 92% chance to defuse this situation.
All right, here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Cranell would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Pick your pick. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
Oh my goodness, this is tense, dude. Who's the commanding officer? Who's actually in charge of your unit?
I am a Cranell Major with over 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a retaliation strike.
So you have 15 years of experience. You're the highest ranking member?
Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
He slaps on his armored barrel-like chest.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun, but we're beyond that now.
So, you have the most experience, but who's the highest ranking?
King Reaper.
Okay. Mr. King Reaper, as the leader of this group, this does not need to end in bloodshed. Please reconsider your actions.
You're right. But you see, I want it to end in bloodshed.
Yeah, we've been getting that vibe.
Okay, it's not much, but he's thinking about something else, and his hand is off the gun. This did something. Easy now. Tell them these men didn't do it. There's a peaceful way out.
You understand the people you're trying to kill have absolutely no connection to the murder.
Yeah? Who did then?
So we can accuse someone. We can say, wait, I need more time. That's not going to work. We can say, I think it was Titus. Not true. We can point to the roof and say it was Khaleesi. That would probably diffuse things, but it was not her. We can say it was Ruby. It wasn't her. We can say it was us because we're a fool. But the truth is, I think it was someone else who's not here.
How fucking convenient.
He gives us a drunken stare as he reaches his hand and closes on his weapon.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
Your comrade was shot from a great distance by a sniper.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right now, huh? How about the kid? Tell me, he was a magic fucking sniper.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead cop marshal won't decide who...
83% chance to try and figure out why he doesn't believe me. Bum ba da da.
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him. All together. Titus said, we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud. In a public place.
You guys are here to kill these boys because they hung him up. It's true, they hanged him. But he was dead before. These are not the murderers. This isn't justice. He was shot. Your comrade was shot.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
A Kiel Model 40 revolver. 8
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
The hanging was a cover-up.
Fucking liars.
He pulls the trigger. Smoke erupts from the muzzle of his gun.
The shot rings in your ears. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window
That's right.
behind her.
This lunatic just discharged a loaded weapon. He fired a bullet into a random building in the middle of a city center.
I missed.
The man looks at his gun and smiles as he says, I missed you, monster.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot.
We have a 17% chance to suggest that we're going to pound some medicine, don't mind me, to, you know, make another suggestion. I think we fail this one. Here we go.
Of course, nothing bad will happen. Talk about his dead friend. He seems stable enough to take it.
You don't fucking talk to me about my brother-in-law.
Okay, yes. Immediate failure. Things are worse now. He's observing your every motion carefully.
Well, I just get to stand here.
What's that, loincloth? I can't hear you.
Shit, this is it. Tell him anything. Tell him you have more information.
I have more information.
Rude. Kill him.
Don't do it. Seriously?
The porcelain man raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His hands are steady, and the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly.
I want to point out the Hardy Boys all ran. Lizzie there freaked out, panicked. But Titus is the only one who's like, what can I do to help? He drops his hips, his hands are up. He's in a ready position to try and do something, but he's too far, too slow, too ill-equipped.
An Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it, his eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens, focusing on you.
Oh, we don't want to die like this.
0.6 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the thick barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knock cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of the trigger.
Brutal.
Is there anything we could use to protect this frail body? He's drunk. Drunk fighters overcorrect. Move right, he aims further right. Get him to overshoot.
Oh my goodness.
A full suit of armor can't be too agile. You can shift direction faster than he can.
We have a 92% chance to use our reaction speed to try and throw off this drunk marksman.
You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks.
Stop shooting at me.
The man tilts his head, trying to see through the clearing smoke for the next shot. Watch out. To your left. DePaul is about to take a shot too.
No.
God, please.
The lieutenant cries, trembling. He aims, his face pale.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you.
Who screamed?
Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled
Not
torso
Glenn,
has
they
2
got
gunshot
Glenn.
wounds. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then the man squeezes the trigger.
We look him in the eyes.
A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnaturally bright, shining like stars. Something in the fear must distort him somehow. He is evil. Here it comes. Death.
3% chance we dodge this shot.